Hey guys, I decided to think outside the box, or another way to put it is think outside the chicken tractor. We've been having some really hot days and hot temperatures, and these guys are late getting out of the brooder. I just cleaned out their brooders. You can see all the wood chip pile, or the wood shaving pile from the brooders, and I put them on deep bedding to get them out of the garage. And the reason they're late is because it's been so hot, and half of my infrastructure is something called Joel Salatin coops, which are those low coops with the metal sheeting, so they're about 2 foot high. And then the other part of my infrastructure is these hoop coops, which have a lot more ventilation. When it's this hot, my birds are still doing really well, and I have a couple years of experience now, and I've compared behaviors and batches between the two coops, and man, I just really like the hoop coops better, and it's better for the bird. But so I don't have enough infrastructure to move away from the Joel Salatin coops, so I'm going to do a unique experiment, and it's one I've wanted to do for a while. I've raised the Freedom Rangers, which is a more heritage bird, on electric fences with the deep bedding. And I'm gonna try the Cornish Cross that way for a batch. So I had to think outside the box, or think outside the chicken tractor, how I was gonna accommodate the weather. And you know, this is a really fun experiment, and I hope you guys can journey along and see, you know, this might work for your context and might not. I'm looking forward to seeing the birds' behaviors and comparing it to the Freedom Ranger, and if they forage as well as the Freedom Rangers on a free range or an electric fence system rather than a chicken tractor. So I'm going to show you guys that journey, and thank you so much for your support as always. It's early morning, and these Cornish Cross are really figuring it out. It's their first morning out of the brooder, and I'm getting them used to the deep bedding before I run the electric fences out, and it's real fun watching them scratch and dig like a chicken, and explore and have all this room to run around in. But it's getting a little dark out here. I'm trying to get their first paddock set up so they can have their first day on pasture tomorrow. So getting that electric fence all set up. I got the shocker knot, so it has the smaller hole netting at the bottom so the chicks can't get out, and it has a little plastic barrier so they don't get shocked. So this is an experiment for me to raise a Cornish Cross on electric fence systems. So I'm excited to give it a try and let you guys follow along. Alrighty, the fence is officially on. It's early morning with dew on the grass. Chickens love that. And their door is officially open. It's gonna take them probably 2 or 3 hours to kind of figure out and start venturing out, but I will keep you up to date. And one of the best ways to get chickens to come out to pasture, if they've never experienced before and you're trying to train them to tap into those instincts, is put their feeders out here. As soon as they get out here and they start foraging, they'll realize how much they like it. But also something to remember is the labeling makes it seem like, hey, pasture is best, and it is best. But chickens also get a lot of nutrition off deep bedding like this. There's a lot of bug life and worm life and a lot of nutrition in composting soil. So I always like to point out, when you see chickens pecking and scratching through all this, they're not just having fun, they're getting a lot of nutrition that creates a lot of diversity in their health. And that's a good thing. It's right up there with pasture. Guys, it's still the first day that the Cornish Cross have been on pasture. I just let the door open to this electric fence this morning, and you can see behind me, I have my hopes up. They're really doing well. They're getting adventurous and coming out to pasture. So I think this is going to be a good system for them. So I'm excited to see as they age and they get older, and a little bit plumper. If they keep keep coming on out and they keep foraging. But as they're young, they're exploring real nicely. Actually got them coming up to me now. There we go. They're looking pretty good, and they're getting out and exploring, and so I really have my hopes up this is going to work out, because I love seeing chickens have this much access. All right. Hey guys, I am super impressed with how well these guys are foraging. They are foraging really well on this electric fence system so far. They're still relatively young. They're about 4 weeks. They're about halfway there. So I'm really curious if this foraging drive is going to keep up as they age and get larger. But man, they're moving really well. They're looking really healthy. And they're foraging really well, so I'm really impressed so far. I didn't think they would forage this well, to be honest, and so they're surpassing my expectations with this system, and it's given me really high hopes for working with this breed. And if you give them the right stimuluses, you can produce behaviors that you want in the bird. And I want a more natural chicken, more foraging drive type Cornish, and if I can produce that with this electric fence system, I'm going to be really happy and using it more. And something just flew overhead, and they instantly ran towards the chicken tractors for safety. So those instincts, man, they're looking really good at this age. So this experiment is getting more interesting. I've always favored the Freedom Rangers because of how well they forage, and then those chicken instincts are still there. But on this system, these chickens are doing really well. So I'll keep you up to date and let you know how it goes as they get more towards butcher weight, and hopefully they can keep those same behaviors.